Hello and welcome to another update video about XRP. Here on the XRP chart, we can track a pretty nice five-wave move to the upside here on the larger time frame, which is probably still unfolding. Okay, so the idea is still that we're holding above $1.20 support. Well, that's not the idea, but we are holding above $1.20 support. And that 120 level though is still the critical level against which, we have to allow the price technically to come down to that level, even in our bullish scenario. So we might see a little bit further downside short term, and the price might test that 120 level before actually going higher. Okay, so it's absolutely possible that we are still in the fourth wave, that we get a fifth wave up, and then only afterwards we get a larger correction. In the short term, though, this year could, the fourth wave might have bottomed. I'm tracking that on the smaller time frame. That's really just a question on the smaller time frame we need to answer. On the larger time frame, it's relevant to understand the key support levels here. 120, okay. Above that, we've got 154, but the overall bullish thesis remains valid and plausible as long as we're holding $1.20. We could get one more high. That would be the fifth wave. And it could reach $5, $5.65, $6.60. These are realistic targets for one more high. We have to take this level by level, guys. Otherwise, we get ahead of ourselves, and this would not be healthy for our portfolios, but also not for the chart analysis, because the market in this cycle is let's say short-lived is not really the right. You get rallies and then the market changes quick direction. So it's important to understand at every juncture what the probabilities are and the relevant structures and the roadmaps. But here, XRP's larger time frame chart hasn't changed for months. If you want to see a, let's say, really larger time frame analysis for what could happen in the bear market and where could things go really long term, check out my XRP video on the MCO Global channel. You'll find that channel in the video description. It's already a couple of weeks old, but this really gives you a good idea. I mean, nothing's changed, right, long term. It really gives you a good idea of where things could be going for XRP long term. Now let's take a look at the shorter time frame here. It's interesting, very interesting, because the price formed a wave one to the upside from the February low. That's at least in the yellow count valid. Wave one up and then wave two down. I do have a problem with this here, because this, if we say this was a wave two and this is an A, B, while it's technically valid that a B wave overshoots to the downside, that is really messy. I would actually prefer, if we're really tracking this bullish, that the wave two is still unfolding and it just formed a wider A, B. Hold on, it would actually be, if the low is in, it's a WXY structure. So it's completely messy, valid though, and it just needs to prove itself. The question is, how does it prove itself? Certainly with the WXY structure where the X wave did overshoot, I have to see a little bit more evidence that this is really what's happening. So I want to see a break above resistance. And clearly, the market has not yet broken above resistance. I shared earlier today in our member area already that, this might be a 1-2-1-2 setup, which is quite bullish. But this is only valid as long as the market holds above $2.14. Okay, below that level, next key level here, previous wave 2 low at $2.05. So it could explode like that. It's not just because we're still below resistance and still below the Monday high. This is not high probability, okay? Not in this market. Not with the structure, a context like that, where we have an overshooting X wave, which is actually quite bullish, but then the market couldn't really, or is struggling to hold support. But it's still a valid 1-2 setup. That's what I have to say. It's a 1-2 setup. The problem is also the wave one was a 3-wave move. Now, if you don't know what that means from an Elliott wave point of view, if we don't get 5 waves up, we don't have clear probabilities. So, and then here in the short term, I mean, this just tells us, what's the short-term pattern the market could be following. You see a roadmap here, but essentially all of that is worthless until we see a break above $2.29 minimally, which is the first resistance. That could send the price to the next structural resistance that's located here around $2.64. From there, then, we can watch for the next upside resistance here around $3.04. So that means in the short term, I don't even consider this last swing low very relevant. I mean, this one, in the short term, the price should ideally hold above $2.05. or 2.055 to keep short-term upside potential alive. Any break below that would increase the probabilities that we're going for one more low. Then next support is this 3rd of February low, which formed at around $1.77. Yeah, that's just a quick update about XRP. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.